Three,
Ready?
2, 1, and I'm back with you guys today. And today we actually have the next episode of the 9Trick podcast. I have a brand new host, or not a brand new host, I should say, a brand new guest, my friend Daniel Pixels. How are you, Pixels?
Doing good. I'm doing good. It's first day of classes. Doing pretty well. For the most part. I mean, nothing too bad. How about you? How's
I've
it
been
going over?
I've
How's it
been
going
doing
over
all
there?
right. I've been chilling. As he said, obviously, first day of classes, you can see he's in school property. He goes to New Mexico State University. Shout out. I don't go there anymore. We'll talk about that later. He's going to have a lot of background noise, so he's going to take the crown as the podcast with the most background noise possible, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, unfortunate. Due to my living conditions, we get like kilobyte download speed, so I wouldn't be able to stream or upload, or even the upload speed is equivalent to the download. So
Yeah.
the only good the only good for the internet over there is for like submitting like maybe a homework assignment. But otherwise you can't stream things and you can't play video games, which is another thing that I need to take into account if I'm gonna be dealing with the esports side of things.
Definitely. Yeah, and we're going to get into that here soon. But one of the first questions, obviously, the 9Trick podcast, for those of you guys that don't know, either you Pixels or any new watchers here, is it's pretty much 9Trick questions. Obviously, that's the name of the fucking podcast. Some of them are trick questions, some of them are just general questions that I don't really want to fucking know. And the first one I have for you, Pixels, is the origin of your name. Because I know your name fully is I Ate Mr. Pixels. Tell me about the
Uh,
origin on that one.
the origin of my name. So it goes back 3 years when I turned 18. I
Nice.
got tired of my original name, which was DJ Daniel Scat. It was so bad, and I needed a change. So I was like, okay, I ate Mr. Pixels. So like it looks like an 18. So like I ate 18,
Mm-hmm.
and I just was thinking of that. And then Pixels, I originally just wanted to be called Mr. Pixels, but somebody already took that, so I had to be a little creative.
I
So
felt that.
Mr. Pixels came to be what it is.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, obviously, you already use that as your technically your gaming persona name. How does that transition from when you were 18 and made that new name over to esports? How's that been for you?
Sometimes a lot of people call me Pixel. Well, obviously Pixel now, which is kind of nice, rather than being called like DJ
Mm-hmm.
or like by like having my actual name in my tag. I kind of like having just Pixel. It's just kind of nice. Also, my last name Pacheco. I don't know. P P P. I don't
Okay.
know. It
Keep
sounds
in
right.
mind,
Sounds right to me.
Keep in mind,
Having
Pixels is in an open area, public space, so everything that he's
oh,
saying is being heard by other people, so it's great.
all right. The sorority girls are upstairs now. There's no one here. Not yet.
Pixels is afraid of
We're
girls, so
doing
that's
fine.
good. That's
Oh,
good.
afraid. Is that?
Yeah, he's afraid of girls. All right. Next up, obviously, is you are in out in the open. You're in one of the student centers. What are some of
Mhm.
the issues with your setup right now? I know you're on a gaming laptop, and that's how you've
There's
been
literally
doing.
no issue with my setup.
Okay.
This is
Wow.
literally what I deal with like when I'm at home. The only problem I could ever consider a problem was maybe Ethernet or like wired connection, but there's ports all around me, so all I have to do is bring my Ethernet cable. I have no restrictions just because I'm all on a laptop.
And I
But
commend you,
it
man.
comes at a cost. It comes at a
Uh
cost
huh.
because I can't play at over 60 hertz because of my monitor, and also I'm capped with a CPU. It's whenever I play Valorant, sometimes my CPU just doesn't have enough beef, so it, it's somewhat of an issue, but it's not as much. I've grinded my way to plat. I think I'm honestly, I don't know, plat's kind of low plat. That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
Bars.
definitely. And I think about that, guys. I don't know how many of you guys have full PC setups. I have a full dual PC setup, and my ass can't get out of fucking silver. Pixels over here is on some shitty laptop. I mean, it's actually pretty good if you think about what he's done with it. He's already at plat, so I tip
Um,
my hat to you, brother.
it's got what is it? A 1060 in it, and the graphics or the GPU or the CPU, sorry. I think it's a seventh gen 97K. I have the specs right here. You just pull it up.
You could do that too. That's fine.
It's a pretty good computer. I general range. I paid about $1,000 for it, so
That's not bad.
it's not bad. It's just an all-in-one kind of deal. So even if like the monitor, all the keyboard, it's literally just
Hmm.
all in one. So
Definitely. I guess we'll move on to our next question while you go ahead and pull
yeah,
those
go
specs
for it.
up.
Go for it.
Obviously, like we mentioned Valorant earlier, and you are a competitive Valorant player for NM State Esports. As right now, you are the team captain. You are the sole, I guess, host of the NM State Esports Valorant team. And I want to talk to you about your journey into being the leader. Obviously, I stepped in a little bit towards the summer, played summer with you guys, but I'm not really doing too much of the managing side besides just overall managing for all esports over there. How was the beginning of NMSU esports for you, and how has it changed
Um,
to now?
it's kind of helped me realize like perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big thing. Like it just taking a step back and kind of realizing what position you're in and where you're at in that moment of time. Because when I first started the esports club, I was a little silver, and
Mm-hmm.
I did not know nearly all the call outs and all the different little things that higher elo players kind of go through and have to endure with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I'm trying to still press with our team now, but I'm still at the time when I first started, it was so rough because we had an immortal on our team and we had an iron on our team. That's the range we had, and then there was like obviously everyone in between, and it was so rough in tournaments because we used to have I think Tyler was his name. He was the immortal,
Mm-hmm.
and he would help us a lot, but there's only so much you could do with the teammates you have. Like
Definitely.
since, and I blame me. I was a little silver that didn't know what to do or just didn't understand the comms. And since I don't play at that level and kind of hear the comms all the time, I just played horribly. And I feel like I didn't do well as a coach or in a coaching position. I think, well, I didn't do well, but I did the best I could.
Uh huh.
I'd say I did the best
Definitely.
I could.
Yeah, man. And thinking about it back then, you didn't really have too much help when it comes to the actual organizing. Besides, Matt. I know he's super busy, so obviously he, wouldn't be that good of a help. And I'm glad that.
He kind of helped me. He
Uh
showed
huh.
me Google Docs and or just the Docs forms,
Uh huh.
so I used that a lot of the time for all the things we needed to do, like scheduling and just the regular applications, and it was pretty helpful. So
Definitely,
it
man.
was pretty good on that side.
Awesome. And obviously, the center of all this is Valorant. How did you start playing Valorant? And did you think it was like a
Oh
good
gosh,
game right at the beginning of this, its lifespan?
I was hooked as soon as I played because, of course, the Elo or whatever it is, the MMR, it puts you against really bad players.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of them, but as soon as I like maybe like 5 rounds into a game, I got an ace,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, that's what kind of did it for me. I was hooked as soon as that happened because I just like getting that rush and the adrenaline from getting all the opponents and just kind of like having everyone watch you while you're clutching up too.
Uh huh.
That's just a crazy feeling. It feels good just
Definitely.
being in the clutch situations. That's why I play supports and bait my teammates. But
I'm right there with you, pal. Don't worry. Don't worry.
yeah,
So I know you're obviously haven't just played Valorant throughout your entire life. You've probably played other video games. Have you ever ventured into other esports?
no, not other esports. I remember when I first got to NMSU, I was wondering if there was. I asked the general chat if there was a PUBG like esports because I played a ton of PUBG, like too much PUBG. I have like right now I think I have like 700 and something hours of PUBG. I played that all throughout high school. It was
That's
a waste
terrible.
of time, but honestly, it was a waste of time because like even if I would play with my friends, it still wouldn't be like a great time
Hmm,
because it would be take it so seriously and
definitely.
get mad at each other. But uh,
Well,
started out, I switched to Rainbow actually.
I
As soon
saw
as
that.
freshman year started, I tried Rainbow out, and that was an experience. That was a complete change in what I was doing, all in all, almost.
You thought that
I
was
mean, with
leading in that game was the same.
PUBG, there's lots of ADSing, and Rainbow there is also like it's not much hip fire,
Uh huh.
so all ADSing. Once I started getting the aim aspect of it, I was cherry. I was like pretty good mechanically,
Uh huh.
but all outs, I struggle with that completely. Like there were
Definitely.
so many things that I just didn't like. Even some of the basic callouts for the maps.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the first map I really liked was House, just because it was the smallest, and then it started branching out from there. But it took a while to get used to that game. It was fun
Definitely.
though.
Yeah, I remember you tried out in the spring. And unfortunately, you didn't make it, but I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to you because you were able to get
Yeah,
a little bit more footing in Valorant rather than just jumping boat to Rainbow, which I think would have just
yeah.
not been the best for you, essentially. I
I
think.
honestly just kind of wanted to see how you guys ran things too, because I was with Anga there.
Uh huh.
We both kind of it was he wanted to try out, and I was like, sure, I'll try it with you, and kind of just wanted to see how differently you guys did it and how how like I could improve too from doing tryouts and seeing what different aspects I could take. The only thing I feel like I could have done differently is if I had like more people to manage
Uh huh.
the tryouts, which hopefully maybe you and Shoddy. I don't know if Shoddy will be with us, but
Hopefully.
uh, we'll see.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I'm here to help. Obviously, I kind of touched on it at the beginning of the video. I'm no longer an NMSU student. Sucks to suck. I hate it too. I'm coming back home, back to El Paso, and obviously the closest college here is UTEP. So I did the whole transferring process, which was a fucking pain in the ass. I honestly should have done it sooner. I didn't do it soon enough. But I think I did it at the right time where I was able to go ahead and get everything done, like within about a couple, like within a month essentially, because I had to get a transcript from NMSU, I had to get transcripts from high schools. I had to get transcripts from EPCC from when I was in high school. I had to get a bunch of other shit from different places. And at the time when I was
Get
trying
all
to
your
do it,
credits.
yeah, make sure I had all my credits. Now that things were, obviously opening up a little bit, offices were opening, NMSU was opening, EPCC, all these other places were opening, and I was able to, transfer smoothly within about a month. But I still think I could have done it a lot earlier. But I'm still obviously going to be managing a lot of the NMSU stuff. Definitely going to be heavily involved in Valorant and Rainbow Six, just because those are the two games that obviously I know the best, as well as Call of Duty. But Call of Duty is more down the line just because of the new game doesn't come out till November, and COD's pretty much dead till then. But yeah, I also have the new NMSU show, which I hope to have Pixels on here soon, one of these days. We
That'll
want to
be
do
exciting.
also in-person interviews / in-person podcasts, so you guys can look forward to that. Hopefully, and obviously, Pixels, you're going to be one of the main vocal roles for the Valorant team, so I'm excited for that. Speaking of the new environment that you're in now, obviously, we're back on campus. For those of you guys who don't know, anybody that's a college student that is, away from home, pretty much you were sent home or you were stuck on campus, but you were pretty much isolated throughout an entire year. Well, it feels like a year at least. And coming
Yeah,
this year, everybody's back to school. Most colleges are opening up. I'm pretty sure they're going to close back down in like a month, depending on how shit goes. But hopefully that's not the case.
I
How
hope
is it
I
like?
hope not.
How is it like coming back to school? Obviously, you're not from Las Cruces. You're from Albuquerque, but you wisely chose Las Cruces. How is
It
it to be
feels
back on campus and in school life?
very nice. I'm around my friends. I'm actually like kind of doing stuff with them, opposed to just sitting around and playing video games. I mean, video games are fine, but I want to socialize. I want to do
Definitely.
stuff with my friends in person. And luckily, I'm rooming with three of my friends, so we're gonna do a lot of mischief this year.
Mischief. That
So,
means a lot of sausage parties. That's what I like to hear, Pixels. That's what I like to hear. Now, you spoke to me earlier about a different role that you're going to go ahead and take with the Valorant team, and you talked to me that maybe you want to step down from playing and actually be a coach. You want to explore that a little bit with me?
Yeah. I want to be a sub for the team if I have to. I honestly don't want to, but if we have over like 7 people, or if we have 7 people to be on the roster, then I will step down and I won't play because I don't want to play. I feel like Valorant takes up a lot of my time, and if I just stop playing, kind of in general, not so much as like completely, but like if I just
Competitively.
slow down my playing and just focus on like how to actually improve and how to help other people improve, I in turn will improve. Lots of improvement.
Yeah, definitely.
Simple to say. Uh, just comms and mechanics, like getting everyone used to like our whole roster from last like summer at least was golds and plats, and that was kind of going against all those immortals and some like even some radiants. We got stomped. I think the most rounds we got from some of those games was either 5 rounds actually
Hey
out of
man,
13.
we got
But
12. We got 12.
there was one game that we seeded.
Yeah, we
But of
did.
course that's the game that wouldn't
Mattered
be
the
seed.
least. Yeah, it
Yeah,
mattered the
but
least. So it is what it
so,
is, man. But yeah,
uh,
summer was fun. I think it was a good learning experience for you, for me, obviously as well, and getting to know you
mm,
guys and you getting to know how it's like to actually have somewhat of a dedicated team. I guess I know it was a little bit difficult for you all last year. And it sucks, but that's unfortunately how it is with a new esport. You know, Valorant's not that new, or it's not that old, I should say. It's more new, but being that it's super popular now, I think when tryouts finally open, which I'm actually going to announce today, like right after I finish recording this, the tryout dates.
18th.
Um,
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and well, you know, we'll see some influx hopefully of players. But that's really awesome, man.
Yeah.
And for my final question, obviously, I know you talked about improving a lot, and it's good to have that kind of mentality, even if it kind of hinders your opportunity, if that makes sense. Like you're taking a step back from being a collegiate, you know, pro player essentially, to actually becoming a better version of yourself, which is really commendable. Um, which leads to my next question: who inspires you to be the best competitor and the best kind of like motivation to play, I guess, and to be just like a better person, eh? Who inspires you?
I'd say kind of sounds weird to say, but like my close friends Jacob and Mickey,
Mm-hmm.
I would play video games with them all the time. And every time that we played, I am kind of the aimer of the group.
Uh huh.
I'm always the one with who's always running the gunner in like Guns of Icarus, or who's always running like just gunners in general in all the games we play. So whenever we have a game, like there I'm always usually the first one to get uh just any ranged weapon, which I like because my aim has just gotten better every time I play with them. So just the more you practice something, the better you're at it. So
Definitely, man.
they really motivate me to do better than what I'm already doing. Like Rust, for example. Oh my gosh, Rust. That game is so hard. Well, the recoil control on the AK, but it's just that kind of stuff help me train. Same with PUBG. The spray patterns in PUBG are so they're terrible. It's really hard to control.
Uh huh.
But once I got able to control it, oh gosh, it feels so good. It's just that kind of aha moment. With Valorant, it's a little different because there's an actual pattern, and same with like Rainbow, there's a pattern
Uh huh.
too. But with like PUBG, it was random,
Uh huh. It was
and being
literally
able to
random.
control a random spray, oh my gosh, that's like the greatest feeling ever.
Definitely, man.
And since Valorant's so like you just literally have to get the same motion over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just muscle memory. So and also having good internet. So luckily I can play here at
Hopefully,
Corbett.
man.
I hope I can. I don't think I'll be kicked out if I'm playing. It'd
Nah, I
be
don't think so.
unfortunate if that was the case.
I think you'll be
But
fine. You can find a quiet corner somewhere. I'm sure you can.
yeah, we have a lab, but I don't know. We'll figure it out what we're
Definitely.
gonna do with that.
Alrighty, Pixels. Thank you so much for hopping onto the podcast, man. You're my returning episode back to actually podcasting. I haven't done a podcast in a while, and I know specifically you. I wanted to do a podcast for a long time, and it sucks that you're in the position that you are right now with your current internet. But I'm pretty sure it's going to get better. Hopefully, I'm rooting for you though. But I appreciate you for stopping by. We'll talk a little bit after this episode, but that's it for the episode of the 9Trick podcast. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like on the video and comment who you want to see next, and make sure to hit the subscribe button for more. All of Pixel's social media will be down in the description. I'll make sure to blast his OnlyFans, his Pornhub premium account, his Instagram, and his private Snapchat. So I'll make sure to do all of that for you guys. Thank you all so much.
Premium for a reason.
Premium for a reason, man. You guys like feet? We got it. All right. Peace.